Let's turn to business news now with Nona Peltier. Hi, Nona. New inflation data for the September quarter.
That's right.
Higher than expected, right?
Yeah, quite a bit higher than expected. Well, relatively speaking, I guess. Much higher than the Reserve Bank had been expecting, which is most important of all. So what we had was a 0.5% increase this past quarter, so the September quarter over the June quarter, 1.9% over the year. So the market had been expecting 0.4, so that's just like a fraction of a point, and 1.8, again a fraction of a point. But the Reserve Bank had been expecting 0.2% in the quarter versus 0.5, so that's quite a change.
Gosh.
And 1.6 versus 1.9.
Right.
So you would have thought, what does this mean?
Yeah.
And so, of course, it did put the market in a bit of a flux, and the Kiwi dollar did jump just to that 72-cent US range, which is quite a critical level. If it jumped higher than that and stayed there, then we would have been breaking up above another level. That didn't happen. We came back down again. But then now economists are mixed. Some say, well, the Reserve Bank of New Zealand has been talking about raising interest rates probably not before the end of 2019, early 2020. Some economists are saying we expect a rise, a hike in the rate before that because of this data. It's showing that inflation is stronger than the Reserve Bank thought, with housing costs really filling that inflation.
So it's sitting happily bang in the middle of the Reserve Bank's range, right?
Yeah.
But higher than the Reserve Bank's predictions.
Yeah.
And therefore, if the Reserve Bank is building interest rate increase assumptions.
Yeah. The Reserve Bank has to anticipate.
Absolutely. Okay.
So if the Reserve Bank is anticipating inflation that's going to move above its target, okay, fair enough. Maybe that's what the Reserve Bank is going to do. Meanwhile, we have an acting governor who's in the job for 6 months. That's acting Governor Grant Spencer. So what's he going to do? We don't know. He's going to come back with his own view of things, I guess.
It's not that common for the Reserve Bank's projections to be quite as out as this one.
It's hard to know, and also it depends on some economists are saying, look, there's a lot of volatility in these inflation data. We've got fuel prices there and other things, so who knows? Yeah. Meanwhile, it's quite interesting, and our dollar, whatever impact it was going to have is going to be tempered by what goes on in the U.S. As you know, President Donald Trump's been having talks with potential replacements for the Federal Reserve Chair Janet Yellen. Some of the people they're talking to saw short-term interest rates hike there. That caused the dollar to give a bit of support to the U.S. dollar. So that's having a big impact on what's happening in our local market. We're at 71.6 US cents, 91.3 Australian, and 54 pence, which is pretty much where we were yesterday. On the share market, different story. We're still at those record high levels, but that's in line with what we're seeing around the world.
Yeah, it is.
So we're up at another record close. That's up 0.25%, 21 points to 8,112. That's really high. Yeah. But of course, we're seeing that through Asia and of course in Wall Street.
Thanks, Nona. Nona Peltier with the latest in business news.